guys, today is Tech Tip Tuesday and I am with the entire Deckers crew, and what we're gonna do is teach you guys how to clean out your pond and pondlesses for this spring.
All right, so the way we're gonna clean out this pond is, first things first, we're going to start with our clean out pump, which is right over here on the right. That's gonna suck up all the old water that was sitting in the pond, so that way we could start with an empty pond. From there, we're gonna pressure wash it. Then we're gonna shot back up all the things that came off the rocks and all that stuff that's been growing in there all winter. We're gonna shot back that all up, clean it up. Then we're going to install our skimmer and biofalls components, which are right over here. We have our AquaSurge 3000 pump, our basket, skimmer rack, and skimmer pad, along with we also have our biofalls rack and the biofalls pads as well, along with some buckets to put in some of that loose leaf garbage, and a can of spray foam for adding extra moss or really touching up the waterfall or anything that needs a good touch up.
So we're going to start this clean out process by sticking in our clean out pump into the deeper end of our water feature to help drain this pond down. Now you're going to want to stick this in the water before plugging it in. It's not too good to dry fire. Let's get this plugged in and start draining. I got my clean out pump in the pond. We're gonna go around this top layer and start picking our debris off. So now the reason we go through the top layer, and as this water drains, we pull this debris, one, to clean up your pond, two, to help this pump along. Because as it's happening right now, this pump will get nice and clogged up and you're gonna get no water flow through it. So keep checking that pump, keep it clean, and you should be fine.
All right, so now that we've got our pump in the pond, Kyle is going to be hooking up our pressure washer, so that way once this water is drained, we can immediately get in and start pressure washing.
So right now we've got Bob cleaning out these biofalls. So what his goal is to do is empty out as much water as he can, so that way he can reveal the plug that's inside here. We keep the plug in there over winter, so that way the water doesn't get into your plumbing, freeze, and burst your lines. So Bob's just getting rid of the water. He's gonna open up that plug, and then we're gonna keep working and cleaning this biofalls out. So now that all the water is out, Bob is gonna take out this plug, and then we're gonna finish cleaning up this biofalls. The best way to really clean out these biofalls the best we can is to use the shot vac. So that way we get every last little bit that's inside the biofalls over here.
So now that I've got the pond drained down almost completely and all the bulk of our debris out, we are going to go through and we're going to start pressure washing all these rocks to make them look nice.
All right, so now that we've got most of the pond water drained out, we're actually going to take our pump, put it in the skimmer, drain out the rest of the skimmer, so that way we can start cleaning and then install all of our skimmer components. Now that we've got our skimmer all drained, what Kyle's doing now is he's releasing the plug that leads to the plumbing. Now that's where we're going to be hooking up our pump to. All right, so we've got all the water drained out, and what Kyle's doing now is he's loosening up the plug to the back of the skimmer. Now that plug leads to the plumbing, which we're going to hook up our pumps to. So Bob's got this biofalls totally cleaned out. What he's doing is he's installing the rack and the biofalls pads. What he's also going to do is he's going to take a couple rocks, he's going to weigh down those pads, because once the water starts flowing, if you have nothing weighing down these pads, they're just going to float right up to the top of your biofalls. So we've got the water drained. Now all we really need to do is really clean up the skimmer. So Kyle's hooked up the shot vac, and he's going to shot back out all the rest of the stuff that's in this skimmer basket. So just like Kyle said, now that he's done pressure washing, he's going to start the rinsing process. And we always start our rinsing from up on top of the stream, so we could push all the dirt from the stream all the way back into the pond and then rinse it out from the pond as well. Over the winter, a lot of the times, some of these rocks actually fall towards the bottom of the pond. So what Kyle's doing right now is he's kind of resetting all the rocks that fell down to the bottom of the pond, and also the gravel that shifts. He's going to take some of the gravel that's already on the bottom that got moved, and then put it back to where it belongs. So now that Kyle's got the entire bottom rinsed clear, he pulled the pump out, and we're going to let the hose run to fill up the pond.
Okay, now that this skimmer has been cleaned out, we're going to install all the skimmer components. First, we've got this threaded adapter. We're going to put a little silicone on it. We're going to add the nut that attaches to the check valve. Get it hand tight and finish it with the channel locks. Get it good and snug. Then we're going to put in a AquaSurge 5000 pump. First, I'm going to just check the check valve to make sure it's working. I'm going to add a rubber gasket. The reason I'm putting this pump in first before the rack is that on this micro skimmer, this is the rack. There's really not much to it. So this is going to go in first. Just go hand tight. You don't want to go too tight or you'll break it. Then goes the rack. Then the filter. Then we've got the basket. That's all there is to it.
So now that we've got all of our skimmer components installed, what we're going to do is actually bury all of our lines and our leads so that way they're not an eyesore. All right, we've got this pond all filled up now. It's time to plug it in and let it run.
If you like this sort of thing, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, whatever you got to do to get notified, because we got more to come. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all soon.